yeah. Yeah, James. We're here with Captain James Patterson on the Mississippi outside of Memphis, fishing for blue cats. And he's got us oh, James.
Nice fish.
He has got us knee deep in the hoopla here. We're fishing these we're fishing these dike areas, right?
Yeah, we're
These
fishing
dike areas.
wing dams, dikes, whatever people want to call them.
Yeah. And we just pulled in this real nice one using, I believe this was the skipjack, James, or was this the shad? You remember? I think this was the skipjack.
I believe this was shad here.
Oh, okay. And this is
Get a lip grip on it.
Use that lip lock right here on him. Oh yeah. Well, this thing works real good. Look at that hook set, corner to mouth. Well, you gotta love that. Now don't tail me there, guy. I'm trying to be nice.
Just a second, I'll help you.
That's the thing about these circle hooks. Sometimes they're usually always in the corner of the mouth, but if you look at this one, it didn't penetrate. It's about halfway in, but yet it's still tough enough.
It's past the barb.
Yeah, it's past the barb. It didn't go all the way through the fish. And
would you like to weigh it?
Don't try this at home. This is a good size fish. Okay, I'm gonna guess.
All right, yes.
I'm gonna say 28. I'll let you hold him before you guess. I'm
gonna say about 20, 21.
Man, I tell you what.
I think you're stretching it.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, isn't it, Don?
Big old gut, man. What's this thing, about 36 or so inches?
At least.
Wow. Well,
nice
I don't usually miss him by too much, and we were right in between them.
Yeah, and you know, he's just about a fourth of the way grown, too.
Gee.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine a big blue that can eat that one?
Now, if you want to show me one up close.
I would love to.
Well, hey, we're going to ease this one in on back and get some more of them rods out.
Okay.
Gee, man. All right, big fella. Back you go. Just leave my fingers intact. Oh, gee, got an attitude problem.
Yeah, he wanted to go home.
Attitude problem.
He wanted
I'm
to go
going to tell you
home.
what. Hey, I like fishing with James. Let's get some more of that, man. This heavy current out here in the Mississippi, wanting to cover a lot of ground fishing, like in Santee, they use a lot of drifting techniques. Are you guys able to do that here?
Yeah, we do quite a bit of drifting in this river. We drift with the current. We drift two different ways. We drift a method we call dragging, and then we drift a method called bumping the bottom. The bumping the bottom method, I get up on the bow of the boat, drop the trolling motor, run the trolling motor at a slow speed, and I slow my drift down. I let my weight to the bottom with the bait on a three-way swivel rig. Once it hits the bottom, I lift it and drop it about 4 to 8 inches at a time. That way I know where the bottom is. I'm touching the bottom. I want to stay close to the bottom. When I go off in a drop off, I let line out. When I feel it coming up, I take in line. I run the trolling motor to speed to where my sinker is at an angle below the boat. I am constantly above my bait.
Okay.
And when I bump. Now, when you come up on a hangy spot, you will feel it. And a lot of times you can go above it. And then you can go over it and not get hung. The other method of drifting, the dragging method, you just turn the boat sideways, take the trolling motor to position yourself and keep it sideways, throw upstream, let the sinker hit the bottom, turn the handle, same three-way swivel rig, the whole works, and you just sit there and drag it. You'll feel the bottom. The best bottoms for this is the irregular bottoms, the ones that have a roller coaster effect to them, because most of the fish you catch will be as you drop off in the deeper holes.
Oh.
And you need a decently heavy sinker. We use 4 to 6 ounce weights. Now this method of dragging will not work where it's real hangy. That's where you need to use the bump method. Bump the bottom. You'll get hung a lot in hangy areas such as these rip wrap and revetment banks. Mm-hmm. You can drift right along the edge of the channel, 35, 45 foot deep, and bump the bottom. You can do pretty good. Now, you'll still get hung occasionally, but nothing like if you tried to drag it. When you drag, you've got to be out here on a good smooth bottom, but irregular bottom.
Sand is probably the preferred.
Sand and gravel. We have really probably our best luck on some gravel bars, and you'll know when you hit a gravel bar, your rod will start shaking much faster. You can tell immediately when it's a sand gravel bar.
Just the vibration of the tip.
The vibration, yeah. And then when you hit a mud bar, you won't get any vibration. Your rod will that sinker will just slide across that gumbo mud that's down here on this river.
Almost leave a trail of muck behind it. You know?
And actually, we have a third method of moving our bait to the fish, especially when we're anchored around a lot of structure, hangy areas such as these rip-rap banks, revetment banks. And also the fish, it will excite the fish where a steel bait, you may not get a bite for 30 minutes, and you start moving the bait and you'll get a bite immediately. And that is, you're anchored in the current, you let it to the bottom. Once it hits the bottom, you stop it, and you'll feel the current lift the sinker. You just lift your rod slightly, let out more line till it hits the bottom. And you continually doing this, you just walk it downstream. And it'll move, if you've got the right amount of weight on, you will move slow enough to give this fish a good look at this bait, but yet you will also move it fast enough to cover a lot of territory. A sinker that is too light, you'll just touch bottom and it'll come up immediately. And you just keep going, just keep going. You won't be able to slow it down. A sinker that's too heavy, you won't be able to walk it. You'll walk it down, say 50 feet, and it'll just stop. You want to be able to walk 100, 150, 200 feet.
Wow. You can cover a lot of ground with that.
Cover a lot of ground, and believe it or not, these fish sometimes will hit that moving bait where a steel bait, they'll just sit there and look at it.
So maybe a lot of times when the fish aren't as active, this kind of perks them up?
It will. It definitely will. I've had days when you can let a rod set for 30 minutes, just pick it up and move it a little bit, and boom, one a nail.
Wow.
And then after you see this, you get to thinking, maybe I'm doing everything wrong here. You drop to the bottom, start walking, you start catching fish. I've had it happen numerous times.
James, I'm gonna do some walking.
I'm gonna do some walking. And they're good, isn't they? Yeah, good fish.
Good fish.
James, you got us in a honey hole, don't you?
Get this rod out of your way.
Man, you got us in a honey hole. Oh, he's taking drag. Look at that.
Good fish.
Oh, yeah. He's swimming towards the boat.
Keep up with it.
Yeah. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. I don't know what he's gonna do when he sees the boat, but that's a heavy fish. I bet he's as good as the other one or better.
I believe he's better.
I believe you're right. He feels heavy.
Because he's pulling drag, and I think things are...
Oh, he saw the boat or something. He's taking line.
You got a good fish. Good fish.
Come on, buddy. All we're gonna do is take a picture. A little camera shot. Yeah, we're going to lift this guy up, and the skipper's got something for him. Whoa, man, look at that
He's
fish.
a nice one.
Wow, what a behemoth. What a fish, Skipper.
I tell you what.
When you pick a spot, you don't mess around, do you?
Well,
Gee, man.
it don't pay to mess around,
Yeah.
but sometimes people think you're messing around when they're not doing any good. See if we can get this on.
Wow.
This old boy out of here.
What a brute.
I believe he'll go close to 40.
I believe you're right. Look at that. Look at that hook right there.
Mm-hmm.
Corner of that mouth.
Yep, it definitely did his job. There's no doubt about
Wow.
it. That circle hook. No, he's about 35.
About 35?
Yeah, but we're gonna weigh him. Needle noser right there.
Needle nose. Well, buddy, all we're gonna do is take your picture
Get it from the other angle. Come in from the other side.
from over.
Yeah, from my side.
Okay.
There you go.
Don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen. That way there's more fish for us. Tell you what, Skipper, let's trade. Oh, that's good fish. Yeah. And what'd you think was 35?
About 35.
I'm gonna say 40.
I underestimated the last one. Let's see if I underestimated this one.
I'm gonna say 40.
35 pounds.
Hey, this guy, I'll tell you what, right on the money.
35 pounds.
Gee, man, hey. Well, it's a big 35.
It's a big 35.
The hook rat.
Very big.
Wow.
35.
Big, healthy 35.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try my patented. Maybe not.
Oh yeah. He's settled down now. Go ahead and get him.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once you get a hold of his stomach, they'll settle out. Once you cradle him, usually they'll settle out once you get a hold of his stomach.
Woo! That's a big, heavy 35.
That's a nice looking fish. He only got one fin broke and a little tore up place on his tail.
Wow.
He's a dark color. He's been down on these rocks.
Pretty one, Skipper. Pretty one. Let's keep them coming.
Yes, sir. I'll agree with that 100.
Well, James, 42 inches and 35 pounds. And what was that bait?
That was skipjack.
Well, they're liking that.
Skipjack, river herring.
Man, when they go, they go.
Yeah.
Woo!
He said thank you.
The Mississippi River with James Patterson, man. I'm having a ball. I'm ready for some more of this, man. Oh, man.
All right, now I'm turning the boat around here. I'm gonna get into that deeper water, run into that drop off, and we'll
By the dike area over here?
spot these fish here. See if I can mark these fish, find the location of them. Then we'll try to fish for them.
Well, you're batting 1,000 so far, Skipper.
They're showing up now. There they are, about 32 feet deep.
Quite a few?
A lot of fish, a lot of fish. Look like some good sized ones, but a lot of fish. Water's about 35 feet deep. And a lot of fish.
Several?
Yeah. And some nice big fish too. I see
Hey,
one
that's what
here.
I'm talking about.
They're not showing up as true arches, but they're there. I come out of the hole, now I'm gonna circle back around, we'll drop the anchor.
All right. Is he
I
ready
don't
to
know
go?
if he's got it in his mouth good yet or not.
Is he ready to go? Let's wait till he buries it.
He's really hitting it easy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's taking it down.
I guess
slow.
he's short.
You think?
Let's see if he'll go ahead.
I'm gonna lift up on him and just see.
Just ease up. Think you got him?
Yeah, he just must be a small one. Well, that rod's bending big now. Oh, he was right. He was low. Oh, he's smaller, but he's
That's a pretty good fish though, isn't it?
under the boat. That's where he was.
About a 10 pounder or so.
This one we had this one shallow, and he swam towards the boat.
Yeah, he's a good 10. He's a little over
Oh
10.
yeah.
Got a knot on his head. Got the other line.
We got the other line.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
Just
this
bring him
one-
up.
Oh, now he's got an attitude. Oh. What did he do? See the boat?
Yeah, he saw you.
Saw me, I guess. Enough to scare some people. I don't know. Gee,
Come here.
man.
Boy, he is a ugly old critter, isn't he?
Well, he's been in a tussle or two, hadn't he?
Look at there. Look at that old boy.
Well, you got the lip lock on him, don't you?
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Boy, he splashed water all over my face.
He definitely had an attitude, didn't he? And he's got those scuffs on top of his
Yeah.
head.
He's been fighting. He's got injured, but he's been fighting too.
Well, he's definitely got some energy left, don't he?
Yeah.
Gee, man.
He's an ugly old critter.
Some little pock marks all around his
Yeah.
face. Is that from like parasites? It looks
Yeah.
like there's some...
Yeah, that's parasites there. A little, I don't know. They're like a little baby leech.
Okay, all right.
And you find that a lot around these rocks when they're,
Oh, and so the cats that hang around near the rocks get that a lot?
you know, we used to have a lot of zebra mussels in this river up until a year or so ago. And we'd catch catfish with their lips here just raw, where they'd been jerking those zebra mussels off the rocks.
Oh,
And they'd have a lot of parasites around their lips.
from the zebra mussel.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
All right.
Well, he'll be a lot bigger next year, eh?
Yeah. Ready to turn him loose?
Yeah, if he can stay out of trouble.
Oh, he,
Look at that. Because he started immediately coming towards the boat. But
yeah,
he feels
he's
good.
definitely a swimmer.
He feels good. Oh, that's a heavy fish.
Oh, yeah.
That's a heavy fish. I'd say at least 200-300 pounds. No.
Well,
gonna be a little conservative. Come on up. Oh my
man, that's
goodness! Wow,
It's a nice
that is a beast.
line.
Wow, what a creature.
Yeah, you got one over
James.
40.
Wow, what a beast. Oh man,
Swing him around on your side right there, and I'll.
wow, what
I
a
will
beast.
Try to dip him when I get him.
You got him. You the man.
Hey.
Looky there. Look at that man. Look at that. What a monster.
That is a beautiful fish too.
You want me to move the net when you do that?
Well, I want to get that line out from under him.
Okay.
See if you can take that line all the way down to his tail.
Okay.
We'll slip him out of this line.
Okay. I think.
Oh, he's fixing to go berserk.
Okay. I almost got him down.
Come on.
Okay, the line is off.
All right.
I let go of that.
Let's get the scales here. Scales is yours.
All right. Woo, woo. All right. He is 42.
42.
Yep.
Okay.
Woo. They just keep getting bigger.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a little bigger than that.
I was gonna guess 42.
Really? Well, I was going to guess about 45, 47. All right, you got your glove. Go ahead and get you a grip.
All righty.
Then get you a good grip.
Lip lock's right where I wanted to. All right, let's try it. Oh,
There you go.
they just keep getting bigger.
That's a good fish.
Wow.
Anytime you can catch a 42 pounder, you've had a good day.
We've had a great day already, and man, it's early.
Yeah.
Man, this guy wear you out fishing with this guy. Oh, I gotta put this back because he's heavy.
Okay.
Well, James, I agree with you. Catch and release is the only way to go on these
Oh,
trophy
definitely.
fish.
Definitely.
You know, you got a big hog like this, you get your pictures, and then, you know, let it go out there and, hey, catch him next year when it's a lot bigger.
Right. You got to leave him for your children, your grandchildren too.
I mean, a fish like this, 42, next year he's in that 50-pound class.
Oh, yeah.
Don't splash me. Okay.
Yeah, good
A
deal.
considerate fish for a change. But you know, these fish, they're a limited commodity. With all the commercial fishing you guys got going on in the Mississippi, and really everywhere, these fish over, what would you say, 24 inches or so?
Right.
You know, put them back, and you've got a trophy fishery just like James has got. Now, James, he's been doing this a while. And James isn't the bragging kind of guy, but I'm gonna tell you, he's got a sweet thing going on here, and he puts his class on big fish. But you know, think about the kind of fish he could put them on if people started letting these trophy ones go like we are. He encourages his clients to do that. I think if all the guys would get together and say, hey, let's just use our head, it makes it better for everybody. You know, then people know that you got a trophy fishery like you've got, and then typically the average outing, you might see more of these.
You will.
Now, you know, James got us out here, and this is just one of his typical spots. And we've been running and gunning, and he liked this one. He said, hey, let's wait. Good things been happening, you know? But well, I'm gonna tell you, this catch and release thing, I like what you're doing, and I think as soon as a lot more of these guys do that, there's gonna be a lot more waters with trophy fish.
There definitely will be.
James,
I thank you
man,
for promoting it.
wow, what a fish, you know? I mean, what's next? You know?
Maybe one bigger.
Woo!
They're in here. I'd like to see a good about a 75 or 80 is what I'd like to see.
I like his attitude.
Downtown Memphis.
You got the river walk and the cobblestones right straight ahead, right up in the harbor there. You see a little opening in between the rock and the sandy, grassy bank.
Straight
You'll
over
see
there?
some
Yeah.
old paddle wheel boats.
Yeah.
We're right downtown Memphis.
That's a good morning of fishing, guy.
Yeah, we had a good morning.
Go in there, get some water, and chill out, and take us a little break.
Yeah. We get in here, I got a buddy here waiting on us.
Oh, yeah?
I think you'll recognize him. He's a real good catfisherman. He loves to catfish. I'm telling you, he is.
Is he going to bring us some love?
Maybe he will.
All right.
Maybe he'll bring us even more love. I think you'll recognize him when you see him, though.
Is that him on the dock?
Yeah, that's him. You recognize anything about it?
Guy wearing that no. Are you kidding me, man? Wearing that Tennessee hat?
Yeah, who wears a Tennessee hat?
Isn't that's Bill Frolic or something? Bill Dance.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, Roland Martin's brother.
Bill Dance. Man. Hey, let's tune in and pick him up, man. I'm gonna give me some luck here. Bill Dance. I'll be darned.
That is a catfishing man right there. We nicknamed him Mr. Blue.
You better believe it.
Maybe I should say he nicknamed himself Mr. Blue. Maybe that's what it is.
I thought y'all forgot me.
No, we couldn't forget you, Bill.
Gonna be our good luck charm, eh, Bill?
I tell you what, I need some luck. All the luck I've had has been pretty bad.
He's only got one rod and reel to his name. He brought it with him.
I tell you what, one rod is all you can use, isn't it?
That's right.
It's hard to reel one of these big old cats up with 2 rods.
One in each hand is definitely tough. James and I were talking earlier today about catch and release and how important it is when you're trying to develop a trophy fishery to let these big fish go. I mean, what's your stance on that?
Oh, I agree with it 100%. The fish, the growth rate, the Mississippi is a tremendous tributary, and it's got an abundance of catfish in it. Commercial netting has taken its toll. In the late 1800s, we had catfish in this river, believe it or not. It's documented. We had catfish in this river that would weigh 150 to 200 pounds that were 6 to 7 feet long. Now, that's hard for people to believe, but commercial netting destroyed that gene pool, and we don't have that fish anymore. And I think they're a tremendous fish to catch. If you want to eat catfish, the little pound to 2 pound fish, they're abundant.
Right.
That's a good eating size fish. But these big fish, like I said earlier, it's the biggest fish we have in the Mid-South area. This river is just like anything. It's like money in the bank. It's hard to replace what you take away.
Right.
And these big fish are so special, and they're a fun fish to catch. They'll give you more 3-minute rounds, and when the bout's over, you'll just scratch your head and wonder who came out the winner. Sure, you may get him up to the top, and you got him.
Right.
You probably won the bout, but they will give you so many hours of pleasure. It's great because you're always anticipating. You're sitting here, and I know James right now. He's thinking he's living for a 100-pound fish, and they're here. They live here. I mean, they're here, but. The anticipation, you never know when that rod tip goes down if he's going to be 10 pounds, he's going to be 50 pounds, or he's going to be 80 on up. And it's very easily where we're sitting right now, we could catch a fish in excess of 75, 80 pounds. I mean, they're here. But the amount of abuse that this river's taken, there's no regulations on this river, especially in this section of the river. Catfish, a snake in Tennessee is protected. A turtle is protected, but a catfish isn't. They got game laws on everything that swims, crawls, or flies except the catfish. Now the spoonbill, the shovelbill, they do have regulations on that because there's been a heavy harvesting of those for the caviar or for the eggs. But as far as the numbers of catfish you can catch in this river, there's no limit. There's absolutely no limit.
No size limit, no.
I could bring a trawler from the Gulf of Mexico up here and take 300,000 pounds. And it's legal.
Amazing.
And there needs to be regulations put on this. And you look at catfish today, catfishing is a big sport. It is, I consider it a sport fish.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't think it is, just if anybody doesn't think it's not a fun fish and a sport fish to catch, let them come out here and grab a hold of one of those rods with a 40-pounder on it. That is a tremendous amount of fun.
Definitely.
And you look, you don't have the catfish clubs, you don't have the catfish pros, you don't have the publicity. You're starting to get it now.
Right.
Doug Stanky with In Fisherman, the Insider.
Right.
He's done a fantastic job in promoting catfishing. It's becoming the second most fished for species in the United States now. Panfish used to be too. The Department of Interior, who does a report annually or every 5 years, I should say, is showing that catfishing is moving into the #2 spot. Bass is right up there at #1. Right. But there's more people beginning to fish for the trophy catfish, and people have always fished for catfish because they're good table fare. But to fish for these big trophy catfish, You're starting to see more and more and more of it, and there needs to be regulations put on these fish to protect them. My hat's off to the state of Missouri. They've done a great job on that, and their fishery is phenomenal up there. Tennessee, Arkansas, we in Tennessee are trying to do something about our regulations. We're presenting it at our next commissioners meeting. But we're trying to be a leader, to be the forerunner on this. But everything we do, we've got reciprocal license right here. If Arkansas doesn't back Tennessee, and Kentucky and Mississippi, we could all join together, and we could have a tremendous fishery here in a fairly short time. But
I know letting these big fish go. I mean, that's.
Well, he can tell you, he has caught so many big fish in 15 years out of this river. What I've learned about catfishing, 90% of what I've learned about this river, I've learned from him. He's taught me so much about how to catch these catfish, whether it be drifting, wintertime fishing, still fishing like we're doing, anchored, the types of baits, the type of depths, the type of rods, reels, lines, hooks. I've learned a ton from him about it.
Yeah.
And he can tell you 15 years ago to 10 years ago, have you seen a decline in that?
Declined.
Huh?
It's declined drastically. And the thing that I'd like to point out is that it's not just a commercial fishing thing now. It's also the sport fishery has got to conserve these fish. The trophy catfishing is getting very popular. Everyone wants to catch a big catfish.
You're getting a hit on that
him,
pole.
Don.
Oh yeah, that
Get
feels
him,
like
Don.
a good one. Oh yeah, you better call the
Good
rescue
fish.
squad. Better call the rescue squad. I'm gonna need some help. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah.
You know what makes it so special? Here in West Tennessee, this is our biggest fish, our catfish.
Look at that fish.
Nice
Wow.
fish.
It's a nice one. Are you ticklish?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna be overboard.
I got you in a position.
I'm gonna be overboard. Oh, he wrapped himself in a line. Look at that.
Yeah.
He rolled.
He
Look
rolled.
at that. The hook is not even in his mouth.
He
You
rolled.
lassoed him. You did it first.
Wow. He is definitely not happy about it, is he? Woo!
Man,
Wow.
that's what's called a Mississippi River bath.
Man.
If you'll notice, the hook is not even in the fish. It was, but it come out, and the fish rolled.
He lassoed him.
Lassoed this fish. That hook has got that fish lassoed.
What'd I tell you about
When
good
I
luck and
release
having
that
Bill
hook,
What kind of fish catch is that?
now, isn't that a deal?
here? Oh, that's a heck of a deal.
He's talking to you.
Yeah.
And that's a good fish.
He said, I got the hook out of my mouth, and you rascal still caught it. We'll turn this boy loose before he hurts himself or us either
Yeah.
one. All right, come on. Get that. There you go.
Well, he had an attitude right to the end, didn't he?
He's gone.
If somebody lassoed you and pulled you through from your living room back through the back door of your house, you'd be ill too, wouldn't you?
Just a tad, yeah.
Man.
Well, every growing blue needs a fresh supply of skipjack, eh?
Yeah, he's coming towards you also, isn't he?
Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
surprise you.
I don't think he has the cubic inches yet to do battle with the likes of me. Of course, you say that and then you get him close and it's like, oh my gosh.
Has that got any shoulders on him?
It don't feel that way yet, but,
Oh, he's
but
small.
no,
He's a real small one.
that's probably the
smallest-
smallest one we got.
Oh yeah, by far the smallest fish. That's not about a 3-pound fish, 2 pound.
He couldn't get the bait in his mouth, could he?
No.
Lucky to get, he must have hit that up on the top of the bait.
Yeah.
Look at that pink head. See where that hook got him on the outside?
Went through and
Yeah, went
hooked him.
through and
Yeah.
I'll be darned. That just goes to show how even these smaller fish go after these massive baits.
Yeah.
That's how they
look,
get
look at the compare that bait to that fish. I mean,
Yeah,
he couldn't have got it in his mouth, but he wanted it. But he got the hook in his
yeah,
mouth.
yeah. I mean, and you wonder why these fish grow so fast and fat and everything else. Real aggressive fish.
He's a pretty fish, nice
Yeah.
and clean.
Yeah.
He hadn't been fighting.
No, no. But he slimed that line, didn't he?
Yeah.
See that slime?
Yeah,
That's
he
a,
rolled it, and that's when he got the hook through his jaw and in at the side of his head there.
that's that telltale sign. So, a lot of times you'll get a miss, and you can reel that in, and you'll know that you had a blue when you see that slime on a line where they've rolled in it.
And something I've noticed through the years, take the slime off the line.
Bad luck to leave it on, or they
I-
just see it.
I don't know. I think there's a smell there. I think, of course, I know it smells like a catfish,
Oh yeah,
but I've noticed they don't hit the bait as well with the slime on the line.
I'll be darned. That makes sense though.
I can't explain it.
That makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
You got a bend on that one.
Good fish.
Am I gonna get that line? I think I do.
Can we reel that one in, Bill?
Now I can see it with this
Okay.
this gold line.
Does it feel pretty good?
Me.
We've got a bend in there, Bill.
That's a good. Take that rod, Don.
Okay.
It's a good fish.
Good bend in there.
I can strip that line.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Wow. We've got that rod buried.
what. Okay, there he is. He's on the other side. That's good. He got out of the motor.
Hold him, good pole.
Yeah.
That's a real good fish there.
Oh, he looks good. He's digging, ain't he? Oh, he's stripping it, ain't he?
Yeah.
Look at him take that drag.
Wow.
Oh, when they get on that boat, they just
Oh.
honk, honk, honk.
See it rod again, Don. Get it over here. Go ahead and reel that in, Don.
See, there's nothing we have in this part of the country that fights and pulls like this.
Special like that.
Well, a striper would be about the only thing.
Yeah, but we don't have any. Right here, we don't have those
No.
big old stripers, do we?
That's a good
Well,
fish.
he's staying down in
This might be the biggest one yet.
I don't think he's that big, Jane.
You don't? You just think he's...
I think he's a good fish, but he's not. I don't think he's a whale.
Whoa! That
Look
is
at
the
here.
dog there. Woo!
Look at that big boy.
Man, that is the biggest one yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Go ahead on, Bill. Man. Woo!
Hold it, sister. Sister, man, Sally.
Oh my goodness.
Ah,
He's in there.
There he is.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Isn't that a pretty
Man, look at that
blue?
fish.
Isn't that a pretty blue?
We'll go right
Hold
over
it,
here
Bill.
on the floor.
Man, that's a brute there.
Hold the net, Bill.
Pull him around there.
See, now Bill scares me. He don't think that's a big fish.
He didn't act. There are a couple of times when I put some pressure on him.
The gut on that boy.
Hold it.
Bud, pick him up.
Okay. There he is.
My goodness. Look at the gut on this.
Yeah,
Man.
buddy. You got a gut big as me.
Me too.
You always got to smack them fish in the belly, don't you?
You know.
My wife gets tickled watching him slap those bass in the belly.
I mean, this is feeding. I mean, that is feeding.
I tell you, they're good, healthy.
Wow.
Roll him on over where you can see that big stomach. Or they saw it a
Man.
minute ago, but
Wow. Yeah,
things that way.
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing
Good fish. Good fish. Okay.
Okay, put him or her back, Jane.
Oh, come on, be still. Sweetie pie.
What a boss.
Yeah.
What a
That's
lip
what's
lock comes
special to watch him swim out. Hey, big boy.
Don't take him long to get
You
gone.
catch one of them, you still shut.
in. You okay, big guy? Man, man, you,
I'm fine.
I tell you, you pulling a horse like that, man. You know, you kind
Oh,
of feel
boy.
it for about an hour after, don't you?
Oh, I tell you, I love it. I love it.
What kind of gear and tackle are we using to tackle these here today, James?
Well, we're using the Quantum Big Cat rods. They're 7.5 foot E-glass with ceramic guides, and I'm using the 410 Quantum Iron Reel, 410C. We
So it
use
got that big ratio to it?
It's got a 5-to-1 ratio. This is
Okay.
the small reel. I also use the Quantum Iron 320, which is a larger reel. I set the drag on these reels. This particular rod is a medium action.
Mhm.
They make them in a medium, medium heavy, and heavy.
Okay.
And I usually set my drags and my reel sizes. My reel size is this 410 I'll use on the medium and medium heavy. On the heavy action rod, I'll use the 320 reel. It's a larger reel. It'll hold about 300 yards of 20-pound test line.
Oh, good.
So, and
You
I
set the drag at what?
I set the drag on the medium somewhere around 5-6 pounds of drag. The medium heavy is about 7.5 to 8. And on the heavy action, I set 10 pounds of drag.
How do you, now you told me before, now how do you set that drag? You set it with dead weight, don't you?
I've set it with dead weight. I let the rod bend. I hook the hook in a barbell, a 5 pound or a 7.5 or a 10,
Oh, okay.
and or a dumbbell, any weight that you know what the weight is.
Okay.
And then I lift it clear of the floor. If it doesn't lift it, I keep tightening the drag till I lift it clear of the floor. And then I want it to fall. You know, you bring it up, it falls down, the drag slips. Now, that way you're assured that you're using the whole rod. If you just pull on a line straight out of a reel, it takes less weight to slip the drag. With a line going through the rod, the tension, the pressure, and the friction of the line going through the guides, which these ceramic guides, there's very little friction, but still, there's a difference in a straight pull on your drag and a pull with the rod bent.
Right.
Now, most of these rods will be bent at about a 90-degree angle, lifting the weight. They're capable. The heavy action is well capable of lifting a 10-pound weight with no problem. These rods, they're almost indestructible. The guides, now I use super lines, braided lines, because of the low stretch. There's no problem with your super line. Strand's got a new line that is supposed to even be better than this braid coming out. And you know, these rods are e-glass. They're soft feel. If you put monofilament on them, you've got an extremely soft feel. It's like having a rubber band tied to the end of your rod. I like to feel this fish. You have to run a little heavier leader to your hook when you're using braided line because of no stretch in the braid. But believe me, you can feel every thump of this fish. You can feel him when he swims by and just almost breathes on the bait. You can feel it. Now, my rig, I always use a 3-way swivel rig. Now, today we're fishing in some slack current, and we're down to a 3-ounce weight. And that 3-way swivel, I use a 50-pound mono line, monofilament leader. As you can see, it's somewhere between about 24 inches long. My leader line is 30-pound monofilament, and it's about 6 to 8 inches long. My braid is 80-pound braid with a 3-way swivel. That's about a 75-pound swivel. Sometimes I use a 100-pound swivel. We're using a 9/0 Eagle Claw EL 2004 laser sharp circle hook. This is a light wire hook, and I can assure you that wire may be light, but there is no fish in this river will straighten that hook with 10 pounds of drag. My selection of bait, I use shad or skipjack herring year-round. Certain times of the year, certain conditions, the shad is better. It's hard to beat the herring. The herring is real oily. The shad, we can use it whole, cut, alive. You can cut out the center section with the gut pocket in it. You can use the head section, or you can even just cut it off just in front of the anal fin and use the head and the gut pocket combined. The skipjack, I usually cut the skipjack. This is the way I do it. I cut the head off. Now these are frozen skipjack. These were caught earlier, and then I kept them in my freezer because they're hard to catch now in the river. Then I'll cut about 1 inch back, and I've got a chunk. Now I will put that whole chunk on the hook. The gut is in it. Now the gut usually will come out real quick. That's got it. That's on the circle hook. The Kale hook, if I cooked it, it'd be the same way, just a different hook. The best baits, some people will take the skipjack and they will cut the stomach part off from the head back. They will cut the gut pocket out, and they will use this whole gut pocket in that manner there. They will put a hook in the end of it. Now, this chunk, if you can hook the gut well enough to hold it in, is an excellent bait for blue cat. But it's hard to beat just a good chunk. Like that size, or maybe a little thicker. That is a good bait for a blue cat. The shad, I like to cut my shad like that, and then I hook them through from the lower lip up through the top of the head. That's the way I like to do my shad.
Why are these fish in here, Bill? I mean, this thing's pretty slack.
Well, you know, James always taught me that in fishing in the river, especially during the months of July, August, September, when the water's real hot, you've got more oxygen where you've got more current. And forage, for a long period of time, that's where you see a lot of forage. Now, shad are more fragile fish. They don't fight that strong current like a skipjack does. Now, the skipjacks will run the new hatch of shad, you know, along these dikes, and you know, the backside of these dikes where the current's breaking around. But these big pockets, say between the dikes or where you've got a slower current like we're fishing now, by afternoon, you know, the sun has heated the water and you get such a bloom on this fertile water, these shad minnows begin coming up and migrating in here in tremendous numbers. And these big catfish, they follow them in because that's a main source. Like James was explaining a while ago, your predominant forage, you got buffalo, you got carp that they feed on. You've got probably some kinds of game fish, because a catfish is a tremendous predator, whether it be a channel, a blue, or a flathead. But your higher protein forage, like your skipjack, your freshwater herring, I say skipjack, but the same thing as freshwater herring, as James explained. And shad, both gizzard and threadfin, are high protein forage. And these fish that feed on that, they know it's high protein, and they grow real fast as a result of it.
I noticed one thing. All the fish we've caught in here, I mean, with the exception maybe one that was probably 12, is 20 and up. I mean, is that common in an area like this, James?
It's fairly common, yeah. I don't know why there's such a concentration of that size fish in here. I'm surprised we haven't caught smaller fish, a few smaller fish.
Mm-hmm.
But like Bill was talking about these shad, most of the time shad like a slack water, no current whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times the shad will get back in these pockets where there is no current. And throughout the day, they just swim in circles and schools, and they get out here where the current starts moving. And these big gar, catfish, you name it, are out here in these holes waiting on these fish to be swept into this moderate current. And of course, once they get out into the river current, then they really travel then. Then they try to work their way back in behind the dike to get out of the current again. So these fish are in here, you know, they're catching this forage. There's as Bill said, there's an algae bloom. It brings the shad in to feed on that. The catfish come in to feed on the shad. And sometimes the river herring, the skipjack, they come in to feed on the shad.
That many big fish in one spot, I mean, that's why they call you Big Cat, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Big cat Patterson.
It's on bottom there.
Yeah, just let out some rope and let it come on. We'll come on back. I'm gonna put it reverse and pull us back. We'll probably let out all the rope we had out before. Got it there too quick.
Good deal.
This one is smaller, I think. Look at him go.
They really run more at night, don't they?
Yeah.
He's not very big.
Come here, Buster.
About 8 pounds.
Where's your hooky doos?
I got him. I got the rod. You just grab the line. You can pick him up.
There he is. Well, bait's bigger than he is, huh?
Well, he won't keep still.
Well, that's why these things grow so fast, hitting these big baits.
You want the lipper?
Hey, Buster. I got it.
Got it?
Uh-huh.
Healthy little guy.
You bet.
About 8 pounds, won't it?
Yeah. Look at that.
Feeding like crazy.
What do you say, Buster? I'm gonna let you go. What a day, what a night.
Heck of a day, Skipper.
Hey, I enjoyed it, buddy.
I'll tell you what, I know why they call you Big Cat now.
No doubt why, you know?
Well, I enjoyed having you.
Outstanding day. I mean, a couple in the 40s, 30s, 20s. I mean, we had it all, didn't we?
Yeah,
Really
I
pretty good
guarantee
day.
you.
Bill, honor to meet
Hey,
you.
buddy.
Great fishing with you.
Enjoyed being with you.
My goodness.
We gotta
you
do
guys
it again.
can fish. You guys can definitely fish. Oh, my goodness.
You need to come back.
Well, I tell you what, you guys got me interested in that wintertime bite now. I didn't know it was so good in the wintertime here.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys got basically a year-round fishery, really?
Just about year round.
Except for what, maybe just those odd winters where you might have
The
a...
slowest time would probably be March, April. That'd be my slowest time.
that's when this guy only gets the 60-pounders or something. You know,
Yeah.
that's slow for this guy. You know, so, but hey, one thing that I want everybody to always remember: we preach it, let the big ones go. That's how we're going to keep these trophy fisheries. We're here in Memphis. We had a great day, and you can have a great day too. But we need to let those big ones go.
That's right.
Thanks again, Gene.
Thank you.
Bill.
Betty, in closing, I'd just like to say enjoy the great fishing America has to offer, and by all means, take a kid fishing any chance you get.
Absolutely.